Hi, this is Grace Pamela, Starmana.com, and I'm going to show you how you can fix a overexposed image that was taken as a raw file. So when you're shooting within your camera, you can choose between either a raw format file or a JPEG file. And I love to choose raw because it gives you the opportunity to completely fix any mistakes you've made, as it does store all the information from that day at your shoot. If you get it, I highly recommend getting it right in camera, but sometimes it just doesn't happen the way you want it, especially when the light changes so often, especially when shooting outdoors. So here is an example that I'm going to show you. I did overexpose this image on purpose so I can show you how to do it in Lightroom manually. I won't be using any presets because I want you to know how to do it by hand, because every image is going to be completely exposed differently, and I want you to be able to know how to do it from scratch, because one preset won't be able to fix all of your images the same way. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start. Now the first thing you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to come over to this little toolkit over here, and in the tone area you can see that there's an exposure slider. This is your main tool for fixing your exposure, but it does work in it works with other tools over here also. So I'm going to show you how you can put them all together to fix this image, to bring it back to how it would look normally if you exposed it right in camera. Okay, so first you're going to want to go ahead and bring that exposure down, but not too much, because you don't want it to get too dark and have it underexposed. So you just want to bring it down just a bit, and then we'll probably bring it back up later on as we work more on it. Then you're going to want to bring your blacks down. So you can see it's too hazy and there's not enough black in this image. So you're going to want to bring it down. And then you can bring your whites up. And I'm going to go ahead and go down to where it says camera calibration. And this is a little trick I like to do to kind of bring your image, give it a little head start to make it look more like it did on the back of your camera. So right where it says profile, you're going to want to go to the drop down menu and select either landscape or vivid or something like that. And it'll give you kind of a head start in your editing. Now this image, it doesn't do that drastic of a change, but to me it does help. I think it made it look a little bit better. So I'm going to go ahead and bring my exposure back up a bit. And you can bring your highlights down or up, whatever your image might need. I'm going to go ahead and bring my vibrance up. And I'm going to grab my white balance selector. This is useful, especially if you have overexposed it, because it might be off balance completely. So this lets you select an area on your image. Usually you want to select like a gray area, and it will kind of help bring it back to how it should have been in camera. And this is a little bit warm, so if you don't like what it did, or if you don't have any gray in your image and you're not sure, you can see in this little box area over here what it might look like, and you can kind of get an idea. But you can also do it manually. So you can go ahead and put that back, and you can adjust these sliders here to do it manually. I'm going to go down to my colors here, and you can adjust these sliders as well. This adjusts the different colors in your image. You can see the greens here, they're turning more green or more yellow. And I'm going to go over to the blue. I can see when I brought my vibrance up, my blues kind of went up too far. So I'm going to bring that down. Okay, so that's just a quick basic edit. Again, you can go back in and you can play with it more in Lightroom, or you can bring it into Photoshop and further adjust it. But for now, this is our after, and I'm going to show you the before and after. So you can see we took a completely overexposed image and we brought it back down to a very presentable image for our base edit. You can still mess with it some more, bring up the shadows or whatever you want to do later on in Lightroom, or bring it into Photoshop. But this is an example of how you can fix a completely overexposed image in Lightroom using a RAW format. So I'm going to show you a quick, more up close before and after. So this is our before, and here's our after. I hope it was helpful, and thank you so much for watching.